So this is an outline on a book report that I'm going to have you guys do. Now what's nice about this is that for this first one, you can choose whatever book you want. And for the example that I'm going to give, though, I'm going to use Woods Runner, since we read that about a month ago. And we're just going to go over this, although I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I guess you weren't listening, Mr. Clifton. I said for the example I'm going to give is Woods Runner. I'm not saying you have to use this. In fact, I'll go so far as to say I don't want you to use Woods Runner because I'm going to put down a lot of information right now. So you paying attention now? Yeah. All right, thank you. All right. So you put your name and the book title, or what's the title of this particular book? It's Woods Runner. And then you put today's date. What is it? The 19th? Okay. And the author is Gary Paulson. All right. Okay. Shh. And then it says list main characters. And it says list 3 characters and 2 details about each one. So who remembers, I know we're going back a little ways, who remembers the main character in this book? Yeah.
Me?
Yep.
Samuel.
Yeah, it was Samuel. Okay. So you just write down Samuel. All right. And then 2 details about Samuel. Remembers a detail about Samuel? Yeah.
He got smacked in the face with a musket.
Okay. He got hit in the head with a hatchet? Okay.
Detail about him. That's something that happened.
Yeah, that.
I know.
Shh. So I think Mr. Storm is correct. That's not really a detail about him. That is something that happened to him or an event in the story. So in this area here, we're looking for traits about these particular characters. Yes. Okay. I would even go so far as to say he loved nature. Okay. What's another detail? Yeah.
He was good with the musket.
Okay. He was a good
What's that little girl's name?
shot. That little girl? I think it was Annie, wasn't it?
I knew it. So I put A.
Yeah. All right, Annie. So, shh. All right, Annie is another one. One detail about Annie we could say is she lost her parents.
Her parents got shot on the porch.
Yep.
They got their house burnt down.
Shh. If you have a comment, raise your hand. Needs to be quiet. Thank you. What's another detail about Annie? Miss Stocklin.
It's already up.
Okay. Yes.
It said three details about 2.
It says 2.
What?
It says list 3 characters, 2 details about each one.
Oh, never mind.
Mr. McWilliams.
Her house burnt down.
Okay. Okay. So that's how you would do that area here. Okay. Shh. Setting and time period lists 3 details about the setting or time period the story is set in. And this took place during the Revolutionary War. And so you could find 3 details and list those about that particular time period. Then it says the plot. or a timeline. And it says list 5 big events from the story in order that they happened. All right. Well, let's see here. What's maybe the first big event in the story? Mr. Buckman, what do you think?
When they saved his father. That was at the very end.
That was more toward the end. So how about his parents
Oh, I know.
were captured? Okay, you can put by the British.
Didn't that huge
Raise your hand if you have a comment. And then maybe the second thing you could list would be when he found Annie and rescued Annie. Okay? So you turn it over, and then it says list the best parts of the book, A and B. That's an opinion. And then it says criticisms of the book. In other words, not the worst part of the book, but something that maybe you didn't care about, something you didn't like. Maybe you didn't like the ending. Maybe you didn't like something what a character did. Okay? And if you liked the entire book, you can write that down, that I enjoyed the entire book, and then you wouldn't have to fill these 2 out. If there's just one thing, that's okay. Okay. And then finally, it says, recommendation. Would you suggest this book to another reader and explain why or why not? So, well, some students, I think of Miss Hillscotter and some of the replies I've gotten from her, I mean, she'll write quite a bit, so I left you guys plenty of room. Some of you might just put one sentence, and if you just put one sentence, you'll be graded accordingly. So I expect a paragraph, several sentences at least. Okay? All right. Questions about that? CM?